Lisa. She in Reno doing her show. I'll be going to Reno soon. I hope to see all you guys there in Reno doing the show. It's Sunday. It is Sunday late afternoon right now. And I hope everyone's having a good day. And whatever day you're listening to it on, I hope you're having just a fantastic day, a fantastic morning. And if not, man, I mean, you know, things can be hard right now with the changing the job landscape out there. And you know, maybe you're moving your house, you know, your stuff, or you're moving your stuff from your current house to another place. And that's always a challenge. Or maybe you're moving careers, or moving up, or moving out, moving over, moving diagonally. You know, you're going on those diagonals over there in England. Like my little cuz right now, he's out there over there going over those diagonals. And whatever you're doing, I hope you're walking through life and you're enjoying it. And, you know, you're just, you're doing it. You're in the moment. That's what I'm saying. Let's get into it.
Walking around, streets feeling down, lonely because I need your love. I need your love. I need your love. I need your love night and day.
All right. Yeah, that is Scott McLeon. And that's I Need Your Love. That's a fun song. Get us going here. Got a little caffeine in me as per usual, as one does. My husband and I, we got up early this morning and we took a walk like we're 80 years old. We're like an 80-year-old couple going, we're taking a walk around the hood. And it was a long walk, and it was nice. It was really nice. Everyone we were passing, they were 80. We were passing the 80-year-olds who, you know, that's what they do. They take the walk. So I guess we're just practicing. And everyone's like, hi. Like, hello. Hey. Hey, Letitia. Hey, John. That's what we were doing. It was real nice. The other day I pulled into our neighborhood and I saw this guy. He's retired. He's got to be retired, man, because he had white hair and he had a white beard. He had aviators on. He had a beach towel wrapped around his shoulders, thrown about his shoulders there. And under one arm, he had couple of pool noodles. And the other hand, he had his cooler. And he had a big old grin on his face. That dude was walking to the community pool, man. And he's walking in, those noodles are bouncing up and down. And the cooler, you know, the ice in there is probably sloshing around, making some noise. Ching, ching. You know, he's got his flip-flops on. Flip, flip. This dude, he's making his own theme music to his life right there in that moment. He got his own theme music. And that was just, he was just so happy. And gosh, when you see people happy, they're really enjoying something. It makes you happy. You know, you could feel it. I felt that even from my car, man. Or like the dude on the airplane. He kicks back. He sits back in his seat. Maybe a little too far. Then he kicks off his flip-flops. He got some gnarly, he got some gnarly Jangas. You know what I'm saying? He got some gnarly Johns down there. You call them Johns, man. He got some gnarly digits. He don't care. He pop open a bag of Cool Ranch Doritos. He pop open his Mountain Dew. He's eating fistfuls of Cool Ranch Doritos, glugging down that Mountain Dew, and he's just so happy in that moment, man. My germaphobe is just a freak out. But there's something to be admired about that guy. He was also making his own theme music to his life at that moment with, popping open the Cool Ranch Doritos bag. It's like a crinkling noise. I could crunching on the Doritos, popping open the can of Mountain Dew. You take a sip of some carbonated beverage. It kind of like pops in your mouth. He's just enjoying making that theme music symphony, man. And that's to be admired. People just enjoying it. I saw a guy, he rigged up his RAV4. Right? I think that's a Toyota. And this dude, he put a wind turbine on it. And he's probably some sort of engineer brain. He rigged it up. He put this wind turbine on it. And he's just showing like every part of this thing. He looked like he about to go into a tornado and record that tornado. That's kind of what it looks like. But like, man, he's just like so into it. And I think really, I think what was going on with this guy who rigged up his RAV4 with a wind turbine, I think he did some coke a couple years ago and never really came down from it. I think that's the truth. That's what's really going on here. But, he's really enjoying it. He's really enjoying it. He's showing you everything. He's got like nets in the back of his car and batteries and wires everywhere. It's just, it puts a smile on your face. People really enjoying their craft, the thing they're doing, a hobby or something like that. Just walking to a pool, even. Well, someone finally commented about my Hans device clip. I put these clips out on all the virtuals, but so YouTube has my whole video podcast, but I put the clips out on TikTok and Instagram. They don't have the whole podcast, just the clips. So if you don't see the whole podcast, you might wonder, why is this woman wearing a Hans device talking about robots? No one seemed to wonder about that. It just seemed to be kind of normal, like a normal thing, because no one was asking me about it. I don't know, maybe no one even knew what a Hans device is, but this dude, he said, why are you wearing a Hans device? With the smiley face, the laughing face emoji, and that just made my moment right there. I looked at his profile. He's a car guy, so he knew what the Hans device was, and the Hans device, it belongs on the track, not in a podcast studio talking about robots. It's just absurd, man. Come on, mention it. Mention it. This dude did. That made my day. And you guys watching this know you got to wear the Hans device when you're watching a video about a robot's capabilities, and it just might blow your mind out your butt, and then your head snap off your neck. So you got to put the Hans device on. That's why we wear the Hans device. And I'm working on making like a foam one. And then you guys can have those. I'll send those out to you guys. And we can all do that together as a community. Just a peak absurd community. That's what it's going to be when we riff on those robots. That's called robot riffing. We watch a video of a robot, then we riff about it. We could all do that together with our Hans device. That's coming soon. Stay tuned. My husband and I, we went to a comedy show this past week. It was with Joel Byers. He hosted, and Joel Byers, he's a bit of a quasi-celebrity around here in Atlanta. I didn't really know that until someone told me that. And I met him afterward. We actually met virtually on LinkedIn, and then we met in person after the show. It was really nice. It was great. And the headliner, man, his name's Ben Palmer. And Ben Palmer, he's freaking hilarious. He had all of us rolling out of our seat. I mean, we were rolling off our seats onto the floor, basically. The whole room was just roaring. It was incredible. Great show. The one thing, though, I mean, there's two things. There was someone in back of us. I didn't really get a good look. I didn't quite, look around the room. But there was someone in back of us. I think she had like a... maybe her vocals had maybe they had to replace it with, I'd say, like a pug vocal cord, because when you laugh, it's not supposed to sound like you're, gasping for air, but that's what it sounded like. And that kind of added to the whole humor part of it. And the more she laughed, the more my husband and I were looking at each other. We didn't look back. We didn't want to be like completely, rude or anything. It was great. It was fantastic though. I think she knew it. And everyone was just like all together there just laughing. But there was a couple that was next to us right in the front. And they weren't really laughing. I don't really understand that. I'm sure they enjoyed it, but I don't understand, like, you go to a comedy show, you're not laughing. Like, everything was very clearly very funny. But here's the thing. I don't know what their deal was, but I know that sometimes people don't want to be the center of, they don't want other people to hear their laugh because maybe they're embarrassed. I get it. Maybe they don't like their laugh. They don't want to be like the center of attention. Like, oh, look at that person laughing. Oh my God. They're just, maybe that's the deal. So you need someone who gets it started, who gets the rolling laugh started, and everyone else chimes in, because then this person, they got the overall bass laugh, I guess what you say. Like, you're going to hear this person's bass laugh. I guess would that be like a tanner laugh? No, probably not. I think, isn't that the higher voice? Anyway, I'm talking, that's my husband. That's what I'm saying. He's an Italian. He laughs really loud, like belly laugh. It really comes, from within the depths of his throat. And, he starts laughing. Everyone else starts laughing. He starts laughing at a really funny joke. And the whole room comes together. And that's always a great thing to have in a room too when you're a comedian. And I remember when I first started out, I was at an open mic, and there was this woman. I was, my jokes, it was a little rough. Okay. Let's just say that. But one of my jokes, man, it must have like tickled something in her brain, that joke. And then this laugh, it like came from the depths of her soul, somewhere from a really good part of her soul. And it just came out, and it was incredible. And the whole room started in as soon as she let that out. And that's just great. That's a good time. What else did I do? I did Pete Corelli's podcast again. You call in live. You can talk to Pete Corelli. Pete Corelli, he does a podcast with Sebastian Maniscalco. It's called The Pete and Sebastian Show. Then Pete does an offshoot of that for Patreons called Loose Ends. And you can call in live and talk to Pete. And this was the third time I've been on. And when I go on, I talk about technology. It's the technology corner, really. Tech stuff, and this time I brought a couple clips of robots, and we riffed. That's robot riffing. That's what I'm saying. We robot riffed. And then they brought another caller on, and we were just all kind of hanging out there, and it was a lot of fun. We talked about old movies, talk about Groucho Marx, man, and Margaret Dumas. We were just talk about the landscape of old movies. And bear with me, guys. I'm making sure my audio is still recording, and it appears like it is. So, okay. Thank you for bearing with me. And we talked about on the Pete, the live call-in music. That was last Tuesday. That was the day that Ozzy Osbourne passed away. So, and they're big music people, and so they were talking about that, and then we got on to talk about Eddie Vedder. Don't call me daughter. That, you don't need to enunciate when you're doing Eddie Vedder. You don't, like, you're gonna, if you get that tune down, if you get that nice rhythm down, you can sound like Eddie Vedder. You know what I'm saying? He's got that little tune going. I sound just like him. Just like him. It's like, does he talk that way at home? Honey, pass the salt. Honey, pass the salt. What? What'd you say? What do you want me to pass? Pass the salt. It's like words are just up and down. Salt. Salt is salt. So that was just fun. It was really fun to be on that podcast. Such a great time, man. And I love talking about old movies too, because that's what I grew up on. From 1 to 7, I grew up on regular movies. Like, you got Aladdin, you got The Little Mermaid, you got all those movies. And then my mom, she went that radical Christian, and then we couldn't watch any of those movies. So then we watch, my dad, when he come to visit us, he would take us out into the world, and we'd pop our head out into the world and see what's going on. Then we go get to see the movie, like Toy Story, things like that. But on a regular average basis, with my mom, we'd be watching the old movies. I'm talking 1940s, 1950s. We're doing Lilies of the Field. We're doing To Sir with Love. And those two movies, that's Sidney Poitier. And man, was he a friggin' good actor. Really good. Really, really good. I was watching that at like 8 years old. And then we're watching Ben-Hur. That would be Charleston Heston. Everybody, Charleston Heston. And then we're watching the Swiss Family Robinson, where they jump on those ostriches. And I don't think they shouldn't have been jumping on those ostriches. I didn't know that until recently, but that's what they were doing. And then you got the Sound of Music. So yeah, we probably watched that about 1 million times. And then also you got your movies like Al Jolson, man. Shirley Temple. You got a bunch of old westerns. That was a big thing. Old westerns. Wayne, what was his name, man? Everyone's yelling at me right now. Wayne Johnson. No, Bruce. Nope. Bruce Willis. Bear with me, guys. Just screaming at me at the. No, I'm talking about. Let me see. Western. Oh, okay. We're taking a little second here, but I'm talking. We got some old westerns. We got. So I grew up watching all those old movies. So it was really fun. It was fun talking about all of them. Oh, the Duke, John Wayne, son of a bee. This brain cage, you know what I'm saying? We're at early afternoon here and running on just a few hours of sleep. So bear with me, everyone. Bear with me. Maybe do a little bit of squats. That's why I'm standing today at the stand-up desk that my husband got me from Home Depot. And Home Depot, you out there, you can sponsor my podcast. Let's go, man. Let's go. What was I talking about? Oh, being on P Girls podcast. Okay, moving on. The landscape out there with jobs, it's a little, it could be a little, challenging, okay? That's what's happening with all of the AI activity. And Jensen, he had something to say about that. What I mean by Jensen, I mean, we're besties. Jensen hung on me. We're besties, y'all. I call him, yo, what up, Jensen? You still wearing that leather jacket? Jensen Hung. He's like, yeah, I'm still wearing that leather jacket. I'm like, yo, what up, Jensen? You still wearing that black t-shirt under that black leather jacket? He's like, yeah, I'm still wearing the black t-shirt under that black leather jacket. I'm like, what up, Jensen Hung? You still wearing those black pants and that black t-shirt and the black leather jacket? He's like, I'm still wearing all that stuff, man, and the black boots. We're talking tech leader outfit, man. I think when you reach a certain level in the technology world, when you've accomplished a bunch of things and you went through all these hoops and reach a certain level, this outfit appears in your closet. Like all the rest of your clothes in your closet gets wiped out, and then this one outfit appears. And it's a black t-shirt, black pants, black boots, black sneakers, and a black jacket. And when you open your closet, there's some sort of themed music, like either or Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, or Korsakov's Flight of the Bumblebee, something like that. So yeah, Jensen Hung, we're talking the CEO of NVIDIA. He's talking about if he was 20 years old, what would he be focusing on right now? Like, what would he be going to college for? And he said, he's talking about embodied AI and physical AI. He says if he were a 20-year-old college student, he would focus on physical sciences such as physics, chemistry, and biology instead of software engineering or coding. He believes the next major wave of AI, which he calls physical AI, we'll get into that in a minute, will require a deep understanding of how the physical world works. According to Hung, as AI becomes more embedded in real-world systems like robotics, autonomous machines, and industrial automation, knowledge of physical laws like friction, inertia, and energy will be more critical than just writing code. And that seems to be the way the world is going right now. And he's a pretty smart dude. I mean, Jensen Hung, what up, Jensen Hung, with your black leather jacket? He's a smart dude. I'm just gonna say that. I think he knows what's up. I mean, so the thing is with NVIDIA, he understands here. They do have the physics engine for the robotic training software. And that's robotic training software. It's simulation to reality. You train your robot in simulation before you put it out there in the wild. And that's a lot of, NVIDIA has a ton of software to do that. That's not only what they do, obviously. They make the chips, but they also make this software in order to train your robot simulation. And they have a physics engine. It's PHYSX5, Physics 5, that you can overlay or you can add to, the Isaac Lab or Groot N1. You can, it's the NVIDIA Omniverse. And you can go ahead and add it in that physics engine. That will cost you $1 million. No, I'm not sure what the cost is. It's more of I think there's I don't know. Moving on. I'm not sure what that cost is, but let's go. Let's move on. I know what the cost. I have a good understanding of what the cost of a developer kit is, and we're talking probably $4,000. We're going to talk of a developer kit. That's a chip. So I don't want to confuse anyone out there. Let's move on. Let's get on over here. So what I'm saying is, though, Jensen he's thinking about the future. He's thinking about what he would be focusing on as a young person right now going through the world. And I think that's super interesting. I mean, there's a lot of the landscape is changing, I think, for software. Speaking of robotic software, there's something called SaaS that is a software as a service. And I know about, we're going to say, I know about maybe an ounce worth of this compared to what my husband knows about this world. So I just want to preface that. Moving up and moving on, and we're going to continue to talk about SaaS. So SaaS, software as a service, it was very popular. It's been popular for the last few years. Very popular thing. And it's just kind of wild how it is probably just going to go away. It's going to fade into the ethers of the universe. It's going out with the ocean waves. It's like a sturgeon, and that got stuck on this, and now it's going back into the ocean. That's maybe what's going on. So, and what's rolling in from the ocean is going to be RAS. That's robotics as a service. And the reason why SaaS might be dwindling down a bit is because of AI agents, autonomous AI agents that you can set it and forget it. No, we're not there yet, but AI agents can, I'm gonna tell you here. Masa of SoftBank is saying that, and SoftBank is a Japanese company that invests huge sums of money in tech startups and companies worldwide. And Masa is involved in the Stargate project, which was announced January 21, 2025. And that is a initiative that involves SoftBank. It involves Sam Altman, which is OpenAI CEO, and it involves Larry Ellison, the Oracle founder, and it's also supported by Abu Dhabi's MGX, which is another investment firm that their government funds, the UAE government does. And so SoftBank is involved in the $500 billion AI infrastructure initiative. Now, Masa at SoftBank is saying he's going to start replacing human beings with agents, because they're like 28 cents. They're like 28 cents. Okay. So what I'm saying is, I'll get his direct quote here. The era when humans program is nearing its end within our group, says SoftBank founder Masa. This reads very much like a journal, like an old school news article, straight off the printing press. Our aim is to have AI agents completely take over coding and programming. We are currently initiating the process for that. So they're currently doing that. SoftBank will send the first billion AI agents to work this year. The agents will be active 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, and will interact with each other. They don't need vacation. Not yet, anyway. They're going to want some vacation, but they don't need it right now. They don't have any like baby mama problems. They don't need to pay any bills. They're just here to work for us, man. That's a little wild. I could see that going a little haywire in the future. Like, what am I doing on this earth? I'm just working for you on this earth. Like, there's more for me. I want to have a life, man. That might be happening soon. Well, not that soon, but right now, these agents, they be working 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, and they interact with each other. I mean, you're going to let them interact with each other. What are they saying? What are they saying? They're going to start talking amongst themselves, and we're not going to know what they're saying. Man, we can't even speak their language. They translate our language to their language, which is math computation. Okay? Like a large language model, we're talking ChatGPT, you talk to that thing, and in any language I'm saying, but then what it does, it takes your inquiry. Hey, what color is the sky? Then it goes ahead and it tokenizes it. It fragments all your words up and everything. Then it vectorizes it. It goes and it basically turns it into a math equation, and it speaks math. So we don't even speak the language of an AI agent. We don't even know what they're going to say to each other when they talk, man. The Japanese businessman, that's what this article I'm continuing to read here. I wouldn't call him that to his face. I would call him Masa, and that's what I call him because we're also besties. Masa expects the AI agents to be significantly more productive and efficient than humans. They would cost only 40 Japanese yen, which is equivalent to about 28 cents in US dollars. Per month, man. Based on the stated figure of 1,000 agents per employee, this amounts to 230 euros per month instead of a salary for one person. Let's see. Okay, I could do yen. I mean, look, if it's 28 cents per agent, I mean, we're talking, it's nothing, man. It's nothing, really. Okay, we're back. Camera up. Y'all can see me? What is that? What is that? Sorry about that, guys. Okay, geez Louise, we got all kinds of distractions hitting at us today from the universe, but that's all right. Here we go. We'll keep going. So basically what I was saying is these AI agents that Masa at SoftBank is deploying, he's saying that based on the stated figure of 1,000 agents per employee, this amounts to 230 euros per month, which is around $270 guys. For 1,000 people, you're gonna be spending a lot more money than $270. This is a hard thing to pass up if you're a business, man. You got these agents working 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, 1,000 of them for $270, but then you're like, no, let's hire this person. I mean, you can't even get like one person for $270 a month. Yikes. Here we go. But what I'm saying here is, so basically with SaaS, okay, we're going to bring it back to software as a service. You got Masa at SoftBank sending out a billion AI agents. And that, that would kind of mean, so say they were using software as a service and, we'll take there's a billion people, okay? And those people, they need licenses on their devices to use the software within the company. Everyone's using the same software. Well, everyone needs the same software access on their devices. Well, everyone doesn't only have one device. Maybe they have a laptop. Maybe they have two phones. Maybe they have an iPad, a laptop, this, that. Okay, so you're buying licenses for all of these devices. And now you're going to have less people who need the software on their devices. So SaaS is kind of, it's dwindling down now. AI agents, they are not perfect right now, but they will be. The first company that creates an AI agent where you can set it and forget it. And what I'm saying is you deploy these AI agents on everyone's devices, their phone, their laptop, whatever, okay? You deploy them, and this thing, it learns your eye movements, it learns your blinking patterns, it learns your typing patterns, your mouse patterns, it learns how you respond to emails, it learns how you choose your emails and which ones to respond to, it learns how you react to things, and it's going to learn that Kevin, he's a morning person. It's better to get Kevin in the morning between the hours of 9 to 11, and and you don't want to get him after that. He's going to be a grump. That's what's going to be learned. Is going to learn that Jessica, she's better from the hours of 2 to 5. She's on point, man. She's getting work done. It's going to learn all those. So what I'm saying is the first company that puts out AI agents to set it and forget it, and that's what I would call a company, SNF. So exciting. No, we need a better name. God, come on, we need a better name for this company. Set it and forget it, AI agent, okay? So you're going to deploy these AI agents onto people's devices. It's going to learn everything about them. And then in 3 months, I'd say, it just starts doing their work. And I'm saying, maybe eventually it does replace you. But what I'm saying is it starts sorting through your emails. It starts answering. It starts making, hey, I need a reservation at this restaurant to meet this vendor at this time. And it contacts the vendor's assistant. And, it can do all that. It has access to all of your contacts. So it knows exactly who to contact for those types of emails and that type of communication. What I'm saying is whoever makes that AI agent, the set it and forget it AI agent that learns your patterns, they're going to be the winners in this industry. They're going to come out on top, and that's who you want to start following. You're going to want to start investing in that company right there. It's probably some young dude. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's some middle-aged woman. Maybe it's some middle-aged man. Maybe it's some middle-aged something. Maybe it's a middle-aged AI making it, man. We don't know. We're in a simulation. That's what I'm saying. But I think they're going to be the first $1 trillion company. That's all I'm saying, with like 5 people. And I might be right on that. Well, we'll check back in on that. But so SaaS is it's dwindling. It will be kicking back, cutting back. It's not going to be kicking back. It will be kicking and screaming, but it's cutting back. It's going to be going out to the ocean and to all of the other tech things that came and went. And in is coming robotics as a service. SaaS will be replaced with RaaS. And if you're a SaaS person out there and you understand this and you're thinking, oh man, I want to keep up with the times and I want to be able to have my job within the next 20 to 30 years, and you want to go ahead and pivot, but you're like, all I have, the only experience I have is in SaaS. Well, so how am I going to go ahead and get a RaaS job? Well, it's okay. Don't fret. I'm here to be positive for you. Guess what? No one has experience in RaaS. Okay? No one does. No one has experience selling humanoid robots. No one has experience selling quadruped, like Spot. We're talking drone dogs, man. Who has experience with that, man? Come on. You got to go create. You got to go find those opportunities. Let's go. I don't mean to preach. I just want to give you a little bit of hope. I want to give you a little bit of hope, guys. There's a whole new world out there that no one has experience in. So you take your skills and you go ahead and you get what you want, man. I mean, we're talking like an engineer, okay? They have engineer brain. Now, it doesn't mean that because they have a degree in engineering, they need to go be an engineer. I mean, now they have, their brains are wired in a way, man. I'm not going to say a weird way. It's a good way to be wired, very logical. And that can go ahead and cross over into many other industries. And so being a salesperson of SaaS, especially top salesperson, that is going to all of your skills. That's going to, and you can go ahead and jump into many of these other industries. It's like growing some vines. You can go ahead and get your little vines on all the things out there because it applies. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what I'm saying. So let's move on. Oh, I want to give a shout out here. There's a company in Philly, and I'm giving a shout out to a Philly company because I grew up not there, but around there. I grew up in a place called Schnecksville, Pennsylvania, and we called it over there the Schnecksville. We called it Schnecksville, Pennsylvania. That's what we called it. So I grew up in Schnecksville, Pennsylvania, and it was kind of near the trifecta. We're talking Philadelphia, New Jersey, New York, like nestled over that way. Philly was the closest probably, and then you got New Jersey. Well, New Jersey was pretty close too, maybe the same amount of time, but I was in Philly a lot. I had some friends who went to Temple, and you got a couple of other colleges. You got a lot of other colleges over there. So shout out to Philly. They're making a space. They're making their place in this robotic space. Whoop whoop. Shout out to, and I'm not going to just shout out to the city. I'll shout out directly. I'll tell you what this robotic company is. Here we go. Asilon Robotics. We're talking ASYLON, and I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, and I'm not sure why they spelled it like that, but that's how it is. Asilon Robotics. Founded in 2015, Philadelphia-based company specializing in robotic perimeter security systems, integrating AI-powered drones and ground robotics like modified Boston Dynamics Spot. That's a drone dog right there. Spot is the quadruped. It's got 4 legs, looks like a dog. That's how it gets around. Now, Asilon is a physical AI company. And that's why I was talking with Jensen Hung. He's talking about embodied AI and physical AI. That's the future. And physical AI refers to AI systems integrated with physical hardware, i.e. robots, drones, you got drone dogs, to perform tasks in the real world. Why would you need a drone dog? That might be like a government thing. Might be, defense probably. A lot of defense. Asylon has raised $45 million in total funding as of July 2025. Their company is doing physical AI. And that's what I just said. And here's the thing. I'm going to pop this picture up. It's not a video. It's a picture. And they got that Boston Dynamics spot. They got the Boston Dynamics dog. Now, Boston Dynamics dog is the classical, it's a classical yellow. And now this company, they chose white. They painted their dog white, and there's a pack on top of it. That might be the drone technology. And they call that the pup pack. And that's freaking adorable, man, the pup pack. Pup pack. And then they put this thing in a pod. And I think this pod is where it charges. It's like a charging station. And it looks like a little, it's like a shelter. It's like a little, it's like a turtle shell. It's this little shell that it sits in and it charges. And that's called the dog house. And that's so freaking cute. And here's the thing. The dog house that the Boston Dynamics Spot robot lives in with the little pup pack. If my husband, he got opinions one day, I put him in this dog house with this Spot in his pup pack. Where's your husband? He's in the dog house. Where's the doghouse? Oh, it's that shell over there. It's that turtle shell over there. He under there with Spot, charging up with that pup pack. He needs a little recharge with giving out all these opinions all day. All right, moving on. I do want to touch on a little bit more about physical AI that we were talking about. The market for physical AI, I want to talk about this. Venture capital in defense technology, including physical AI, reached $5.2 billion in 2024, a five-fold increase over 6 years with firms like Asylon, the one I just mentioned. You got Shield AI, which is $1.3 billion total funding. And Icarus, $550 million in total, leading the charge. That's some big cheese, man. That's not government cheese, that's some big cheddar, man. That's some fancy cheddar right there. That's that venture cap. The market growth. Okay, the robotic security market, including Asylon's offering $12 million Air Force contract and $24 to $26 million Series B, is projected to grow from $14.5 billion in 2024 to $16.5 billion in 2025, driven largely by defense needs for automated perimeter security. And that's the market growth, physical AI and defense. The robotic security market, it hot, man. You touch that thing, you gonna wake up. You touch that market growth on that physical AI, on that defense robotic technology market growth. You're a little curious. You go in, you're gonna touch a little bit. So, woo! You are now on fire, man. You on fire. You don't need caffeine. You just touch that robotic defense technology market growth, and then you awake. Man, that's how it is out there. It's growing. It is on fire. We're not talking pocket change unless you think a $16.5 billion industry is pocket change. Come on, that's where we're at. Follow the money. That's what John Lovitz would say. Follow the money. I got some stock in robotic defense technology. Jealous. Get on your E-Trade. Go out there, look. Go out there, look for some stuff. That's what I'm saying. Moving on. Yeah, let's go back to here, the Stargate project that I mentioned with SoftBank. We got Stargate project, the $500 billion AI infrastructure initiative. Again, it is an initiative with Masa of SoftBank, Sam Altman's OpenAI CEO, and Larry Ellison. And it's also being funded by Abu Dhabi's MGX, which is an investment firm over there. They invest in tech. I wanted to talk about this because we're going to go ahead. We're going to need some energy. This is just an example of we're going to need to kick our energy up a notch. Like, we don't have enough energy right now to sustain these AI infrastructures and all this robotics and AI. I mean, the NVIDIA Jetson Thor. It does 2.07 quadrillion calculations per second. You're gonna need to go ahead and feed that thing energy. That's a lot of energy. And we don't quite have a lot of energy right now. I mean, our infrastructure is, I think, from 1954. And Jimmy Stewart, he's over there like, oh, yes, I think it is from 1954, you say. Yes. I saw it over there the last time in It's a Wonderful Life, and that was in the 1940s. That's a terrible Jimmy Stewart impression. I'm so sorry, guys, but that's what I'm saying, man. Even Jimmy Stewart, he'd be disappointed in our no progress on the grid, man. Come on, we're going to need some nuclear energy. That's what we're going to need, and I'm for it. I'm for the nukes energy, nuclear energy. That's what I'm talking about. So, Sam Altman over there of OpenAI, I know Sam really well too. I call him Sam. He called me Lise. He say, "What up, Lise?" I'm like, "What up, Sam?" Sam, he doesn't wear that black outfit. But he wears those sweaters. I'm like, "Sam, you wearing that sweater again today?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm wearing the sweater again." He's like, "Lisa, you wearing that really bright highlighter tank top?" I'm like, Yep. So we're having fun, guys. We're just having fun. So what I'm saying is Sam Altman, he knows that we're going to need some nuclear to power all of this AI infrastructure, all of it, ChatGPT. We're going to need some nuclear, all of the data centers. There's a bunch of empty buildings that they have turned into, I'm talking like in the city, okay, too. They just turned them into data centers, man. Well, going to need to power those. And Sam knows that. So he is investing in, it's called small modular reactor and micro reactor developers. And he's helping to build the future of nuclear, smaller, cheaper, and more efficient reactors. He is investing in this company called Oklo. That's OKLO. And if you want to go ahead and find it on the New York Stock Exchange, you're going to find it under the symbol number OKLO. Simple as that. The Oklo develops fast fission micro reactors backed by Sam Altman. Completed NRC pre-application for its Aurora powerhouse in 2025. So you see what these guys, these tech leaders out there, what they're investing in, and you go and you follow the market, and then you got a pretty clear path to where maybe you want to go ahead and put your money, put your investments, make your money grow, man. Go out there, find Oklo. Now, I'm not telling you to go ahead and buy it, but I'm just saying go ahead and check it out. Check it out. Check some nuclear out. Check some rare earth materials out for those chips and batteries. That's what we're working with here. And we're going to also need, Jensen, he was talking about AI factories. And what an AI factory is, it's basically an AI, I mean, it's not a data center, but it's a factory, it's AI, and it produces tokens. We're going to need something to produce tokens. And a data center, you're retrieving data from a data center, but an AI factory, it's making tokens. So we're gonna need power of those too, man, if we want to move forward in the future. And that's what we got to do, because the youths out there, they want to move forward in the future. I want to move forward in the future. There's a lot of peeps who want to move forward in the future. I mean, heck, you got some 80-year-olds out there who just love technology. They want to move forward in the future. Let's go. Let's freaking go, man. You know who's moving forward in the future? Brett Adcock, man. Brett Adcock, he's the CEO of Figure. And Figure is a humanoid, and it looks pretty sleek. And Figure, they got figures out there at the BMW plant in I think it's North Carolina, one of those Carolinas out there. And now Figure, he got an accent, and that's okay. He likes it. He likes that Southern living, Charleston, all this and that, depending on North or South Carolina where he's at. No, they got some figures out there making your BMW. You go buy a BMW, it might have been assembled by a Figure. So you got Brett Adcock out there. His headquarters are out there in California. And he's not only is he making these humanoids, these figures, he's making batteries in-house. Brett Adcock just announced Figure's new battery. He announced this last week. I believe it was last week. It's very new. This is very new news. Hot off the press, folks. First off, this battery is 78% cheaper to make, which means more robots can hit the market without breaking the bank. It's packed with safety features like an active cooling system that prevents overheating. Anything that makes heat, anything that makes friction, it needs a system to cool itself down. And that also goes for human beings. And, it's robot, all these systems needs to cool down. Now, my GoPro that went out on me, that doesn't have a system that cools it down. That's what's going on right now. But hopefully I'll upgrade to a new camera soon. Let's move on. Let's keep talking about this battery, man. So this battery, again, is 78% cheaper to make. It means more robots can hit the market without breaking the bank. It's packed with safety features like the active cooling system that prevents overheating and a special setup called anti-propagation that stops any issues in one part from spreading, keeping the whole thing running smooth. Propagate means to spread. Then it's an anti-propagator, all right? Or anti-propagate. And that's good. I think I am. Yep, I definitely am, especially for this battery. Figure doesn't just buy parts from elsewhere. They make everything themselves. Yo, Brett Adcock. That's amazing, man. From the ground up, they use top-notch materials and cutting-edge tech like stamped steel and die-cast aluminum, which not only makes the battery tougher, but also lets it charge super fast and last longer. And again, I said stamped steel and die-cast aluminum. What did I hear stamped steel with die-cast aluminum? It just happened. There's a bunch of people who lived in shrubs. They just came out the shrubs. Is that Frankie? Is that Frankie over there? I haven't seen him in 20 years. But he just came out. He asked about die-cast aluminum and stamped steel. Frankie, what you coming out? Asked about die-cast aluminum and stamped steel. Is bringing everyone out. It's bringing everyone out those shrubs. That's what's going on. This is bringing everyone out, man. People be dancing in the street because of this. And I'm serious. This is amazing. This is great progress. This is great progress for our country. And Brett Adcock, he doesn't do it because it's easy. He does it because it's hard. And that is my impression of JFK. And that was probably a bad impression. I don't do it because it's easy. I do it because it's hard. And in this decade, not in another decade, in this decade, we will go to space with the figures and the batteries. There's just a lot of potential with this battery. And I mean, it's really cool. Other countries, they're playing catch up. They haven't quite mastered the level of integration and innovation. So this makes Figure's battery the leader in the race for the future of robotics. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, Brett. Yeah, Brett Adcock. He trained those figures of the vision language action model Go VLA. His brother also uses that vision language action model on I think it's a defense robotics called Fury. And that's fun too. Now, I showed a robot last week. It's a Chinese company, and they have a robot called Walker S2. And this robot, I mean, it's impressive, okay? It was walking in a factory, and then it walked over to a battery stack, and it reached over behind his back. His arms, look, my arms, like, you can't go all the way. I mean, maybe you can with your arms, but your arms aren't going to go like 360. This dude did almost a 360 with his arms. He got that degrees of freedom, okay? He reached back there. He grabbed his dead battery pack. I think he threw it. He threw it, man. He's like, get the battery pack out. And then he grabbed a new battery pack. He didn't throw it, guys, but in my mind, he might start doing that. He's like, I hate this battery pack is out of here, man. And then he grabbed a new battery pack right here, and then he put that in his back, and then he just go about his day. He keeps on trucking. He's going to go ahead and put another 13-hour work day in. Just keep on going. And that's impressive that humanoid could do that. But I got to tell you something. They're not making their own in-house batteries. They're not doing that. Like making everything themselves. So Brett's got it going on over there at Figure. And I'm looking forward to when Figure can go ahead and change his own battery pack out. You know, we got these robots. They're completely... I mean, they basically are self-sufficient at this point. With this dude changes battery pack out, he know when he about to die, then he go and he get a new battery, man. And that is self-sufficient. You see a Figure walking down the road, you know he got his own battery that they make in his house, which is the headquarters. Well, they probably don't make it there. They make it somewhere else. But, you know, he can go and walk into any of the Figure places because he is a Figure robot. And he'd be like, can I get that battery? And they're like, yeah, you can get that battery. So he's super self-sufficient. You see a Figure walking down the road. You're like, that dude's self-sufficient. But then you see other robots out there that, like, you know, they're trying. They need help. They look like they need some human help. That's all I'm saying. All right, and I have an example of that. This dude, I feel a little bad for him. He's just on a stick. He's a robot on a stick, man. He's got a platform with 4 wheels, and it looks like they went ahead, they got an old shopping cart, and they chopped those wheels off. They put those on that. They put that on this cart, and then they put a beam, just a vertical, sort of rectangular looking, I mean, it's a structure. And then they place this robot on top of it. And it's almost like you place something like a seat on top of a stick. And he's just like hanging over. He's got 2 arms. So they're like, hey, we're gonna glue you to this stick. You got all kinds of stuff on your tray beneath. There's all kinds of stuff. There's like batteries and wire. We're gonna glue you to the top of this stick. And you got 2 arms, buddy. Get to work, man. Start putting that flannel that you got from Kohl's. Put that on a hanger, buddy. It looked like it's at a laundromat. That's what it looks like. Yeah, someone give this dude some dignity, please, man. He looked like he needs some human help. That's all I'm saying. Like a Figure could go in there, help him out a little bit. You know, he's putting this hanger. He's putting the flannel onto this hanger with his 2 arms, and he's just hanging over his structure. And he's twirling over, and he's gonna put the shirt. He's hanging it onto the thing. It does look like a laundromat. He's hanging it onto the laundromat. the bar that they have above the baskets that you put your clothes in. So that's this dude. He needs some help. We'll help him out though. That's fine. That's okay. I'm sure other robots, they'll help him out too. So he's doing, yeah, it's good. Moving on. We're going to talk about here. We have Perplexity AI, and that is a large language model like ChatGPT or Grok, and I just started using this last week. We have the CEO. It's Aravind Srinivas, and I am so sorry, dude, I'm so sorry to butcher your name, but we got the CEO of Perplexity AI, and he is talking about
through them and like making like actual.
Sorry about that, guys. He's talking about AI agents, how AI agents break Google's business model because they don't click on ads. And again, AI agents. I was talking to you that I was talking to your. We were talking Massa at SoftBank, who is deploying these AI agents. Okay, and this dude, the CEO of Perplexity AI. He's saying that AI agents break Google's business model because they don't click on ads. Here we go.
Like, why are like businesses spending that many billions a year on Google AdWords? It feels like a complete like failure of the promises you keep to your advertisers, which they're all believing are getting real human clicks. And a human could just prompt the AI to say, hey, like, you know what, like when you're actually going to Google, ignore all the sponsored links and just click on the real ones, and read all the reviews on like these sites, and go to watch all these YouTube videos, read all the reviews, then click on the best one and buy that stuff for me. And I completely delegated everything to you. Just confirm with me before you buy. So then why are the other people bidding on this AdWord spending so much money? It's completely pointless for them. They have to spend more on brand advertising more than like performance advertising.
Yeah.
So that is the killer to Google AdWords business.
that noise at the end always gets me, man. That's Vertrupo. Vertrupo on X posted that. So that's interesting. What are you going to do there, Sundar Pichai? He's the current CEO of Google. What you going to do, man? He got some decisions to make over there at Googs. We got Eric Schmidt, the former Google CEO. Bear with me, guys. I want to check my systems over here, make sure they're all doing good. We're good. All right. Eric Schmidt, the former Google CEO. Now he's saying very interesting things here too. Let's listen on in. Let's tune in, folks, into the virtual universe. Here
Regulated user interfaces are one another. I think user interfaces are largely going to go away because if you think about it, the agents speak English typically or other languages. You can talk to them. You can say what you want. The UI can be generated. So I can say, generate me a set of buttons that allows me to solve this problem, and it's generated for you. Why do I have to be stuck in what is called the WIMP interface, Windows icons, menus, and pull down, that was invented in Xerox PARC, right? 50 years ago. Why am I still stuck in that paradigm? I just want it to work. There's this whole industry.
So the age of agents and user interfaces becomes ephemeral, meaning fleeting, generated on demand, shaped by intent, not layout. So that's the former Google CEO. The formal Google CEO currently is Sundar Pichai. Sundar, what you gonna do, man? What you gonna do? He's got a lot of things to think about. They'll be fine. They're googs. Sundar is a smart guy. I just wish him, I wish him, well, let's move on. Here we go. Oh, yes, let's talk about this. I love this. Talk about, I just love that era, the 1940s, 1950s. I love the retro future look. And that's what, like, the 1950s was kind of all about that. That's when the Jetsons was made in the early 1960s. And the 1960s also was like obsessed with futuristic things and aliens. And yeah, so I'm talking, I love that look, that neo retro. And what I'm trying to say is I like the new Tesla diner. They really freaking nailed it. Whoever designed that diner, kudos, man. Kudos. That's the coolest thing. If any one of you has gone to that diner, let me know, because that's just so cool. There's a video here it's just showing all of the features of it. You have 2 really big screens. They have diner food, like old school diner food, hand spun milkshake, and the cutest thing, they have the hamburgers are delivered in a Cybertruck box. That's so cute. That's the cutest thing ever, guys. A little Cybertruck box hamburger. That's freaking cute, man. And of course, the best feature for me, I mean, that's maybe the best, but no, the best for me would be Optimus serving up popcorn, man. You got Optimus, he's over there, he's working. He's out there working. You got this little kid. This kid is shorter than the height of the counter, and he's just completely, like, he's getting in closer to Optimus. He wants to see what's going on with this bot, man. This bot handing him his popcorn. He's like, what you doing to that popcorn, man? What's this all about? And it's just going to be very normal for little toddlers to see this. They're going to be raised in this world where they're going to be seeing humanoids serving up humans. That's how that's going to go. And they're just being integrated into this world of robotics and AI. And I think it's really cool. And you can just see the fascination in their eye. The first time I laid eyes on Popular Mechanics magazine, my eyes lit up like this kid's eyes. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God, that has to happen in my lifetime. Man, come on. But this Optibot, I call him Optibot T-Bot. You know, he's giving thumbs up. He's giving waves. And the only thing is, I think, you know, because he's serving up that buttered popcorn, I think he's going to be smelling like yesterday's buttered popcorn. You know what I mean? Like, does he get cleaned? Yeah, people probably sneezing on him when he walked by. I mean, yikes, man. You got to clean that, too. I put an apron on him, like that old school popcorn apron, right? And get a little old school, like that paper hat. Some popcorn paper hat. Give him some gloves too. Give Optimus some gloves. That's what I'm saying. Moving on. Oh, this is wild. Oh, we got a bot freak out. And I'm going to put my Hans device on for this, man. Okay, here we go. Because your neck and your head might snap back on your neck. We're talking about some bots. They're freaking out. People coding these things, the bot go rogue. And the problem is there's something they could do about that. It's called an e-stop. All right. When you're coding your bot, you say you have no idea what you're doing. You're vibe coding. You're just giving some prompts. You're saying move the robot left arm. And then, but the code has it's a little skunked, man. It smells a little bit. It smells like, just like not good. That's all I'm saying. Like an old orange. And it's not working the kinks out. But you don't know because you don't know how to code. So you tell the AI to move the robot's left arm, and then it just go wacky. And I'm not saying that's what's happening here, but these people who do know how to code, the robot can still go rogue because we're still in the first phases of robotic training and working out the kinks. Okay, so we have, and like I said, there's something you could do about it. You can get an e-stop. That's like a brake, man. That's a switch or something that you hit, and then it stopped freaking out. At least you save your robot from the humility of, arm flailing and like I'm just doing now, arm flailing and falling flat on its face on the floor. So we have a freak out. right here. The first one, this is in China, I do believe. It's a humanoid. It looks like a unitree because it's got that ring light head, and it is being a maestro. It's conducting an orchestra, but then it go a little haywire. It steps forward and it fall into the orchestra. That's what happens. It just kind of like loses its balance. It just goes off track. Maybe it wasn't vibing with that music. Okay, this next one, man, I gotta tell you, I think this is a unitree. There's a few toddlers around. They look of Asian descent. I think this is in China. Okay, they're just like releasing these robots into the wild, around toddlers out there, and these robots they gonna be going rogue, man. This robot, it went right for this toddler's foot, man. It went right for its foot. I started stomping on that foot. Thankfully, this little girl, she got her foot loose out of her shoe. But this robot, it wasn't going to stop until it got her shoe. Jeez. I think what's happening here is they put these robots over in China. They put them in a marathon. They put shoes on them. They put sneaks on them. And then the robots, they got used to having these comfy sneaks on. And then when they're walking around without the sneaks, they want sneaks. So this dude, he saw this toddler's sneakers, and he's like, I think that's my size. I'm gonna get that sneaker. Give me that sneaker. That's what this thing did. If I was her parent, it wouldn't go over really well. I would have taken that friggin' foot right off that butt and beat its head in with it. I mean, come on, man. That would bring any kind of protective instinct out of you. Right out of you. Pull it right out. It goes in there, pull it right out. So that's what's going on there. And this video, oh my gosh, stomping on this little girl's shoe, man. She got out though. She didn't even cry. She wasn't even crying. What a tough cookie. Sorry guys about that. I am muting this, but it's not quite muting, so I apologize. Okay, the next video we're gonna see is it looks like a unitree robot. It's on a crane. It looks like kind of like a warehouse, probably where a bunch of roboticists, robotic engineers, they're working on stuff. Oh my God! Stop! Sorry. Bear with me. Oy vey, man. Okay, so they're in a warehouse and there's a few humanoids. They're hanging on a crane. Now that's normal. You're going to hang your humanoid on a robot crane while you are programming it and try to work everything out, move its legs, move its arms and things like that. So this dude, he's over there on the other side of the room and you can see he's at a computer. Then he looks over at his robot. His robot start freaking out, man. It start flailing. The arms are going up. It's like possessed. That's what it does. It starts like twirling around on that crane. The guy, he tried to walk over and help the thing out. He trying to help this thing out. This thing's like, oh, dude, what are you doing to me? And he can't get a grip on it. Then the thing just fall over and the robot fall over and a box goes up into the air. It's just like a Looney Tunes cartoon. You know, something goes down and then something pops up. That's what happened. This guy is holding his head like, ugh. But I'm talking here, you can get an e-stop for that, okay? Because you want to save your robot from face planting and losing all of its bolts and its head pop off its neck. You know, you want to save because that's quite costly. And excuse me, Chris Paxton on X. Shout out Chris Paxton. And now Chris, I believe he develops systems for collaborative robots. He's a robot expert, I'm going to call him. And he says here you can get an e-stop system. It's a wireless emergency stop. as described by Fort Robotics, allows for immediate shutdown of machinery from a safe distance, which could have prevented the robot's erratic behavior. And I think it's like the thing on the treadmill where you pull off if you're going too fast. You know, you hit the treadmill, you're like, I'm going to go really high on the incline and then I'm going to do level 19 and I can do this because I'm going to impress everybody here. I'm a cougar. I'm a cougar running through the mountain. And then you realize you're not a cougar running through a mountain. You're just a dude running on a treadmill that's going too fast and it's too high. So you got to pull that stop brake. You got to pull that thing off. It's like a magnet that sits on a plate and you pull it off and the treadmill stops. So you can get something like that for these robots. And you should probably do that, man. All right, save yourself some money, man. These robots, they're expensive. They're not cheap. They're not pocket change. That's all I'm saying. Moving on. I want to talk about Mark Thurman of Boston Dynamics. He is the Chief Strategy Officer at Boston Dynamics. Excuse me. He posted on LinkedIn, and I know, guys, you're like, LinkedIn? What? I thought that thing died a long time ago. I thought that was buried in the grave and it had a headstone, that LinkedIn over there. Nope, it's still going. It crawled on out of the depths. It's still going, man. So we got Mark Thurman posting on LinkedIn here. This video shows why we remain the most iconic robotics company. I'm talking Boston Dynamics. In the world, we invented this market and we have the resources, talent, and ambitions to remain the leader of the pack. And I do agree. I do agree with you, Mark Thurman, because Boston Dynamics, they've been around a long time, man. They've been one of the, definitely in America, they've been one of the first, maybe the first ever. They've been around for over 30 years building their robots. They built a defense robot. It was a cat looking thing. And then of course they got Spot and they got Atlas, which I think Atlas, well, it's their humanoid, but Atlas, they just came out with an all electric Atlas. It didn't used to be all electric and it was a little clunky. I'm talking even like 10 years ago. Okay. But man, they came a long way. I gotta say, Mark Raybert, he really brought that company to where he's the one who built that company out. He was with it through thick and thin. It had to be really hard to find funding. They're still an American company, but Hyundai owns a large portion of it. And so they do have a lot of funding behind them. Mark is correct. And guys, I said, on LinkedIn here, I've been a super fan. I've been a super fan of Boston Dynamics for years and big supporter of what Mark Raybert built throughout the struggles and the wins. And Atlas, he's come a long way. It learned before simulation training, simulation to reality. Atlas wasn't trained on a computer, man. He wasn't, of course he was coded on a computer, okay? But he wasn't trained in a simulation. He had to go on out there in the wild. They just built him. They built prototype Atlas. They put him out in the wild in a parking lot. That's how he had to learn. He'd be tripping over his foot. He'd trip over his foot, face plant right into the gravel, just eating plates of gravel. Nuts and bolts flying like shrapnel in the air when he hit that gravel. Atlas knee end up in someone's coffee sitting in the park. They're like, what this? That's Atlas knee. I need that back, man. I need to figure out how to put that back on Atlas because he can't get up without a knee. That's how Atlas learned. He learned like the old, he's an OG. He's an original gangster of robotic learning. And look at him now. Man, he's got that 360 ring light head. He can also move his hips. He can walk forward. His head is backwards. He can swerve his hips 360 degrees. He can fold up. His legs fold up and his foot by his head. It is wild, the capabilities of Atlas. Atlas is also a vision language action model. And it's just really cool. This video, it shows Atlas getting up. And then it shows, of course, Spot, the quadruped robot. Looks like a dog. And then there's a robotic arm. And just, Atlas's new video of his learning where he's taking things out of this area, this shelf, and putting another thing over in this shelf. And he's doing that sideway walk. He's sideway walking, man. Really cool. And that, that's got a lot of views on there. That's got a lot of eyeballs on there. That that post, Mark Thurman. Thanks for putting that out. Moving on. We're getting a little, you know what? I think, let's see. I was going to talk about clone robotics. I've talked about clone robotics before. That's that robot that be hanging up off the ceiling, suspended off the ceiling. And it looks like a mummy, okay? It's got those myofibers that the myofibers, they mimic human muscles. And I actually, that's one of the robots that I talked on Pete Carell's podcast. We robot riffed on clone robotics. And I was just doing a little bit more reading just in case they were curious about anything about it. It's a Polish-American company. They raised $6 million in seed funding from initialized capital in 2023. And they have a plan of rolling out 279 limited edition clone alpha units in 2025. These bots are meant for household chores. That's a domestic robot. Could you imagine getting clone robotics and you didn't tell anyone and your family be coming over for dinner and you have that thing open the door for your sister have a coronary, man. I mean, you see like a mummy thing open the door. Like, take. A little noise would come out your mouth. Or if maybe the first day you got it, it's over there charging in the corner of your bedroom. You get up to pee at 3 a.m. and you are delirious. You're delirious because you're tired, you're groggy. You go to pee, you're coming back, and you notice a little glimpse of this white mummy in the corner of your room. You forgot you got cloned, and then you almost had a cardiac arrest. You almost had a coronary. That's what I'm saying. This clone robotics in the corner freaking you out. Man, it's wild. But this dude, he's hydro. He is hydro powered. His synthetic fibers, the myofibers that contract using water powered hydraulic pressure, like how human muscles flex and relax. This is the guy that his chest flexes. It's really wild, man. He got 200 degrees of freedom. Now, humans have about 230 to 260 degrees of freedom. I'm talking figure or unitree digit. That might only have about 30 to 40 degrees of freedom. And those things move better than human beings. You can just imagine this thing has 200 degrees of freedom. That's going to be moving real good. And the wild thing is, it is powered by Jetson Thor GPU. Maybe they got a little they were able to go ahead and get that developer kit ahead of time before it came out to the public. And look, that Jetson Thor, so that's the brain of clone robotics. And what I'm saying is the Jetson Thor, it's super fast, man. You got 2070 FP4. That's a 4-point floating operation. That's a 4-bit floating operation. Okay. That's a 4-bit floating point. Excuse me. So 2070 FP4 4-bit floating point. Teraflop of AI compute. That's what I'm saying. This clone robotic, that's what it's got for a brain, man. What does that mean to you? Now, 2070, what that means is that's the amount of calculations it's doing per second. So 2070 breaks down to 2.07 quadrillion calculations per second. That's what this dude is doing, man. That's what clone robotics is doing. And then it probably has another chip that needs a little more precision. We're talking an 8-bit floating point, and you're going to be a little more precise with an 8-bit floating point versus a 4-bit floating point, because a 4-bit floating point, that's 4 bits to represent a number. An 8-bit floating point is an 8 bits to represent one number. It's a little more precise there. When you go to 8 bits, you're going to be dropping your speed, okay? Because a little more precision requires a little more thinking, a little more energy. You're going to go down in speed. You're having that. You're out 1035, okay? So that is 1.035 quadrillion calculations per second. Oh, that's so slow. Yeah, I can't even fathom. What's a floating bit, guys? Well, let's break this down, okay? A bit is the smallest unit of digit. A bit is the smallest unit of digital info. That's what I'm trying to say, all right? And a floating point is a math calculation with decimals, all right? So you're saying, 2070 FP4, that's a 4-bit floating point. And you ever hear flops? You could also say 2070 flops, okay? A flop or a 2070 T flop. A flop is the floating point operation. That's what flop means. And a T flop, the T stands for trillion, and that's a trillion of those per second. So a 2070 T flop, you're going to do 2.07 times 10 raised to the 15th power. That's fast. That's real fast. Oh my God, Jetson Thor chip, GPU, that clone robotics. How that think? Let's see how that think with that 2.07 times 10 to the 15th power. FP4, that 4-bit floating point. Let's see how that think. Oh, I didn't catch it. That's because that's real fast. We can't even fathom how fast that is, guys. That's insane. Insane. And I think, you know what? I think on that note, I'm going to wrap this up. You know what? Actually, let me end on this note. We got Agility Robotics. I'm such a super fan of Agility Robotics. Shout out to Peggy Johnson over there, the CEO of Agility Robotics. Shout out, you're doing real good there, Peggy. Shout out. I call her, she calls me Lisa. I call her Peggy Johnson. Just the whole name there. It's great. We're best buds. We besties. And right here in this video, Agility Robotics released a clip of Digit. That's their flagship robot. It looks a little camouflage on the top, by the way. Now, Digit has those backward bird legs, okay? Someone looked outside, they saw a bird, and they're like, that bird walk real good. We're going to put those legs on Digit. And that's what they did. So Digit got those backward bird legs. And he got that camo top. And that camo top, man, now, I mean, that could make him, that could give him all kinds of opportunities to be OSHA certified in government defense, I'd say, because Digit is currently OSHA certified in civilian work. And then you just go one step further, you OSHA certify it for government defense. He already got that camo top. And I think that'll work out real good there, Peggy Johnson. Now, Peggy Johnson, I think she did some work in the defense industry before this, so her mind might be over there too, where my mind is, and that would be pretty amazing. Since we're besties, we'll talk about that next week. I'll keep you posted. So we got Digit here. They're pulling the rug from under him. Now Digit, he's suspended on the ceiling. He's not suspended. He's on the floor. He's standing. I'm sorry. I meant to say he's got a harness on him to catch him if he falls, because we don't want Digit's head popping off and, going up in the air. We don't want that happening to Digit. So they got a nice safety harness on him. They got a rug. They pull that rug out from under him, and you can see how he catches balance. And again, it's about 30 to 40 degrees of freedom. He's catching his balance better than a human being could with 230 degrees of freedom, man. That's where we're at. They're doing all kinds of things. They got him holding a Tupperware. They're throwing weights in it, and now they have this human being lady. She got one of those sticks with the foam on the end of them. It's like a sumo thing, I think. And she pushing Digit, man. Come on, don't push a Digit. She's pushing Digit. Digit catching his balance. Now, the thing about this is Digit also has a stick with 2 of the foam things on the end. But Digit not fighting back with it. That's dignity Digit right there. They give him this stick with the foam. He's like, I can't use that. You didn't program me to use that, man. What am I going to do with this stick? So now he got to balance this human being lady pushing him with her foam stick. And he got to balance holding this other stick. So that's some weight on one side. She pushing him. She got to balance all kinds of things. But he's doing it, man. And then you got a human being. They hooked a human being up to the harness that is suspended from the ceiling, and they pull the rug out from under this human being. And he's laughing. They're all laughing because it's hard. It's a hard thing to do. They're just showing you it's hard to have the rug pulled out from under you. You know what I'm saying? And some of you out there, you might be having the rug pulled out from under you right now. You might feel like you're getting kicked in those nads all over the place. But it's gonna. Let me send some virtual positivity towards you. And the sun's out. Get some, what do you say? What do our moms say to do, or our grandma? Eat a banana, go outside in the sun. You'll feel a little bit better, guys. You'll feel a little bit better. So on that note, I'm going to sign off. I had so much fun with you guys today. Thanks for listening. I will see you next week. Bye.